Well, welcome viewers to the first edition of iOSXOnline. I'm Dave Whitby.
And I'm Scott Harrell.
And we scour the web to find the latest tips and tricks on iOS and OS X
Or 10.
to make your computing experience more enjoyable.
And to get the most out of your Mac and your iOS devices together.
Our goal here is simply to share things we find that are useful and productive.
Or entertaining and amusing.
So, with that, let's get on with the show. The first article we'd like to share with you is about a topic that many people are concerned about, and that is personal privacy and how to stop what's called data mining.
Ooh.
Here's a particular article.
Who's the author?
The author is a Melanie Pinola from Lifehacker, where she talks about how to opt out of the many services and companies that are capturing information about you and then selling it to other people for marketing purposes.
What? They do that?
Can you believe that? I personally have installed a couple of extensions in Safari to help me weed out the data mining, and I'll go over those right now, and then we'll jump to stopdatamining.me. In Safari, there are things called extensions. The most popular extension for Safari is
Adblock.
Right, way up above any other downloads. The second one is something called Ghostery. Ghostery looks for a number of different types of things that are not quite classified as ads. What are they? Well, if we click here, and then we go to the options, and down at the bottom of the Ghostery webpage, it shows you all of the things that it looks for. All of them are going on behind the scenes. And
it sounds almost like you want to wash your hands after
it does.
you've been online.
It's terrible. But Ghostery has the ability to simply click block all. Now,
Sweet.
Now let's jump back to how to stop data mining, how to opt out of some of these services. If you go to stopdatamining.me, you'll see a list of the top 10 by default companies that extract and resell information. Now, you can tell some of these by their name, Scott?
Oh, yeah. Equifax, Experian. Those are credit reporting agencies.
What's this
Fair
Isaac?
Isaac? That's your FICO score.
But I'm concerned about who has this information, and to tell you the truth, I'd rather dole it out when I want to. I've actually gone through the first two of these, clicked in, and filled out the form to opt out.
Some of these companies are names that are not familiar to consumers, like Axiom
Right.
and Datalogics.
But they're in the top 10.
Yeah.
We recommend that you go through this list and opt out of those that you want to. All right. The next article that we have for you is something that is near and dear for many, many years, and that is the paperless office.
Paperless office. I remember that from 1983. Are
Right.
we there yet?
I doubt it. In fact, far from it. In fact, with the introduction of low-cost laser printers, the amount of paper probably increased tenfold
Some
since the
mega
80s.
factor.
Right.
I mean, reams of paper have never been cheaper, right?
But if your goal is to more easily be able to control and search and extract information from all of the different paper sources you might have. Here, this article goes through suggestions on how to convert everything to digital and the kinds of applications that you might use to extract the information later.
Well, some of these we use individually and also on a group basis, like Simple Note and Evernote and Dropbox.
Text edit, Dropbox in particular, which we're going to be talking a lot more about in future episodes, is probably the most popular way to share information and store it conveniently across all of your devices. Like you said, Evernote, quite popular. A couple of other things that I haven't tried yet, but this article goes...
Of course, if you're a Mac user from 10.7 or and above, you're probably using iCloud. And then Google Drive is another free cloud sharing application that's free and available.
So that's things that are that you create yourself electronically on one of those devices. You use those applications and to keep it in an easily stored form. But
We also want to get rid of paper too.
absolutely, the majority of paper that you get is you don't generate it yourself unless you're an author.
Receipts, business cards.
Newspapers,
Oh man, articles you
magazines.
tear off.
Well, fortunately, scanning has come quite a ways. Many times, all you need to do is simply take your iPhone, use the camera on it to electronically scan and then do optical character recognition so that you can later search on individual words from the original paper. Quite convenient.
So it has OCR built into the most popular camera in the world, your iPhone.
Essentially, with the appropriate app, yes.
That's fantastic.
Or you can buy a manual scanner for paper that you simply feed through on a page-by-page
Right, like a
basis.
snap scan or
They're wonderful. That's a fabulous device, piece of hardware. The other thing is to cancel all of your subscriptions to physical paper sources and start reading your content online. Gather many of my material for this presentation is from an application called Zite or Flipboard.
Right.
Wonderful aggregators that selectively search, and over time, if you thumbs up and thumbs down, it fine-tunes the content to just what you want to look at. And that is the new method for me of acquiring content on the web. Creating information via websites instead of producing paper is another alternative, which we are going to be doing with iOSXOnline.com in the very near future. Books and magazines. There are a number of apps running on iOS right now. Apple's iBooks and Newsstand allow you to take electronic submissions from many different sources and conveniently organize and read them online on any of your devices.
yeah, I'm getting Mac Life in a digital version.
Oh, okay. Don't have it yet. Anyway, I love the way she's summarized all the different techniques you could use to achieve that, still unachievable goal of a completely paperless office. But at least it's a step in the right direction. All right. Next article. We have some things to share about accessories. We're geeks, aren't we? Do we like gadgets?
Yeah, speak for yourself.
All right. So, excuse me. All right. Here's the Wallet Tracker R from Phone Halo. $29. This thing is only the thickness of a couple of credit cards. But with Bluetooth 4 technology, it allows you to keep track of your wallet and other items that you might put it in, like your purse and luggage. It has a free companion app that runs on your iPhone so that you can tell the rough distance and direction to this tracker. Some other interesting little things. Oh, I just thought this was so cute. The wedge from Toddy Gear.
I like that taco.
The taco's good. Yeah, to fold your cords, fold your USB cords. That's kind of keep them organized.
Does it come in Dorito flavor?
Mm-hmm. Oh, take a look. This is really nice too. The glyph from Studio Neat. It looks more like some sort of wrench, but it allows you to support your phone at pretty much any angle, and it can even be within a case. Their previous version wasn't adjustable for the different cases that came around phones. This is soft enough to where it will not harm any case that you
And
might
it's
want.
only $30.
$30, but it holds it up at any angle that you might want.
So you could use that in conjunction with the scanning software to have an easy way to match your phone, take pictures of your documents, and off you go.
You could set it up and just slide the papers through as you're doing it. Or what if you're on a plane and you put it in the tray in front of you and you're watching your little video? If you don't have an iPad with you, you could do that as well. Here's a really inexpensive iPad stand. 2 Lego blocks of wood.
That looks like something from the 70s, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Okay. The next article we want is storing information in the cloud. Dropbox we've mentioned already. Google Drive is a competitor. This particular article talks about storing photos in those two services and which one might be superior. I don't really store my photos in Dropbox or Google Drive. I store them in iPhoto and I let PhotoStream do the sharing for me. I create special shares within that, and then I can email the links to that site to any pertinent members of my family. So, but I don't share that many. If you wanted to share a lot of images, take a look at this article and figure out and help decide which of the services might be best for you.
I would say that I had been using the Dropbox photo share, but I just had too many pictures and it was eating up all my storage space.
With your free account?
My free account, I actually have nearly 10 gigabytes, which is pretty decent
Right.
because I've done a lot of referrals. But
You could always, upgrade at some point to the paid 100 gig.
yeah, that's my challenge there is with an SSD drive, not too much free space.
True. Here's an article about a scientist who invented the perfect coffee mug. Coffee's important. That's how we get going in the morning, isn't it? But what's the problem with coffee? Currently, when you pour it into a ceramic mug, it's too hot initially, right out of the microwave or the coffee pot, and then it cools off too quickly, doesn't it?
Yes.
So you can't enjoy it over the period of time before you can finish the cup. So these two geniuses developed a design that keeps the coffee in this zone of between 140 and like 125
Oh, the ozone.
degrees. The zone, yes, for the coffee. As soon as you pour it in, there is a layer of material, and it's, as you can see by the animation here, that absorbs the initial heat and cools it down to that 140. But it keeps the heat in and slowly releases it back into the coffee over time. And supposedly, when this device, which I think is currently in Kickstarter mode, is released, your coffee will stay in that ozone for an hour. That's the coffee mug I want. That's just tremendous application of engineering that should have been done years ago. So hopefully we'll see if this comes to fruition during this year, 2014.
Well, I can't wait.
Nor can I. Something people say happens in this day and age, and that people are walking around with their mobile devices and their heads buried, their eyes focused simply on this thing while they're trying to do other things. Many times drive, which is terribly unsafe. Well,
When was the last time you saw someone just walking across the street without looking down
with an
phone?
iPhone or something and talking on it? But have things really changed? Look at this picture. This is a photograph that was taken in 1947, before I was born. And look, everyone has their head buried in the newspaper. Not talking to anyone else, not sharing, just absorbed in whatever they're doing. So,
Wonder what the headlines were that day.
good question. 47
Probably
was
a Red Scare of some kind, or
probably. Anyway, that's most of what we have for you this first episode, folks. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to thumbs up on underneath the video for us, or subscribe.
yes, and check out our links. There's a link for our user group, St. Gabriel Valley Mac Users Group, sgvmug.org, which we're members of,
Right?
and a link to our webpage, iOSXOnline.com.
Right. So we'll be trying to get out a new episode in the next week or so, and hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.